You can now watch Core TV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to Core TV Primetime Days.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click Core TV, leave a space, then news. Core TV News, a 24-hour news station.
I'm so excited to have you join us again on Cool Digest Monday. How are you? Hope you're cool. Enjoying where you are on the way to where you're going. All right, we'll kickstart the show this Monday with a female politician. It's one of our New Year resolutions to mix it this time. There are too many guys talking politics. And we have FOLASHADE OLABANJI-OBA joining us this morning. Good morning. Happy New Year to you.
Good morning. Happy New Year.
How are you doing?
Pretty good. How are you?
The makeup came out very beautiful on you.
Oh, thank you.
The last time you were here, you were contesting, planning to contest on the platform of APC, I guess, for the House of Assembly. Am I right?
Yeah.
How did it go?
Went well, but we're still on.
You're still on?
Yeah.
Were you able to get the ticket on it?
No.
Okay. So are there other ways they plan to compensate you now, or what? Yeah. You're looking forward to that?
Yes, I am.
So you're not leaving the party yet?
Definitely not.
It's all right. Let's kickstart with one of the major burning issues. Over the weekend, presiding pastor of the Lateran Assembly, Pastor Tunde Bakari, made a very, some have started calling it controversial suggestion ahead of the 2015 general elections. We're just going to play that clips so that you can hear it exactly from the horse's mouth.
Matter. And I've quoted the right portions of the Constitution that empowers both the President and the National Assembly for a 6 month by 6 month by 6 month extension, provided it's not just to stay in power to elongate, but to be working critically to ensure that these things are put in place before we go and to election. That's my considered opinion, and I believe I have the Spirit of God. Yes.
He made it quite clear that it is important that the elections should be postponed, should not take place in February, because according to him, the conditions for a peaceful, fair, and free polls do not currently exist in the country. He also says that it is important for that as it is now. Either way it goes, if the APC wins, it's going to be a story of rigging and otherwise, you know, all these counterclaims and all of that. What exactly is your position on this?
I'm glad he said his considered opinion, and I'm sure his opinion obviously is based on some facts, and if you really look at it, it makes a lot of sense. But is it constitutional? That's just my main thing on it. You know, we're less than 6 weeks. And the Constitution says once the dates have been set, you know, so I would rather implore the government to do whatever they need to do to fix the so many things, and I mean so many, because we're gonna start with the INEC, the security, you know, which most Nigerians would say they have lost faith in this government being able to do that. But any which way, I hope we're not going to be between a rock and a wall.
Sir, quickly just make plans to get me the full length of that particular option. I believe that was just a little excerpt of it so that we can establish some of the facts and the points that he made in that particular very important speech. But beyond all of this now, we're talking about a possible postponement of the federal election. Of course, INEC has not made its response to that yet. But do you see, from the way things are, do you see us go through such an important election at this particular time in Nigeria?
We're already here. I see it as a point of no return. We really have to do everything possible to make sure that the elections are actually free and fair. Well, free and fair because right now, the way a lot of Nigerians are disenfranchised. And so the fair part of it is questionable. But I think we really have to put everything on board to make sure that we have the election because of one politician or some interest postponing an election process, the Constitution is going to be all muddled up. And it shouldn't be allowed at this point because once you start, you can't stop. And it becomes very tricky to please any which side that you're thinking of. Now, he made mention about Boko Haram being put us, on a stop before we can have election. So I would want to hope that in a day, Boko Haram will disappear. But there's no telling. Because even this morning, some parts of the country, let's go Borno State, some places where the JTF had taken over, they took over those local governments again. They've got their flags back up. Just this weekend. And you're going to be like, when is that going to change? And if we're saying subject to no end. Now, the transition, what's going to happen? The law states after 4 years, all of them must go back and have the people vote them back in. Now, you want to extend 2 months, 6 months, 2 years, 4 years. How much more? So
the biggest challenge, so to speak, for the average Nigerian is how do we have a violence-free election? The preceding events have not really shown so much faith in that. For instance, in your state, you talk about violence-ridden campaigns and all of that. On whose shoulder really lies that responsibility of having a violence-free election in 2015?
Well, under normal circumstances, it should be a government to provide the security of lives and property. That's what your primary duty is as a government. But pretty much now, where the government is not doing that, I think every Nigerian, and I mean every Nigerian, needs to be sensitive and needs to be like, what am I going to do to make sure we don't consider to that low level? Because I'm saying low because that would take all of us back. So we really need to, and I'm talking even the politicians, the people, okay, because you cannot get somebody to do an act unless they willingly subject themselves to it. That's so right. If we all say we're not going to be party to violence, we're not going to be used, this use and dump, we've talked about ammunitions being brought in. If the youths or the people that are normally used to do all those things say no this time, the life of every Nigerian is very important, and we must make a resolute decision that we, as Nigerians, we're going to rise above this. We're going to see beyond just that personal interest, that the interest of Nigeria as one are surviving and thriving and flourishing again. And so I think that's the only thing that can see us through this period.
I want to assume that you are a grassroots politician.
Yes.
In your own informed opinion, how prepared would you say people at your constituency, people in your constituency are as regards the election? Are they excited about it? Have they gotten their PVCs? Are they really resolute about going out to vote?
Well, I'm just, if I tell you they all have their PVC, I'll be lying. But they're hoping that they have the temporary ones before then. And also hoping that should, in case they don't get the PVC, they would be able to use the temporary to be able to make, take their votes and all that on that day. Excitement, I pray that we can keep the fire burning, because after all the frustrations that a lot of them went through, and I mean even myself, because I know how many times I had to go, over 8 times before I was able to get mine. It's natural that people will kind of have that withdrawal syndrome, like it really doesn't matter, even if I do, I won't get it. Even if I get it, the votes will not count, because how are we sure that INEC is not being used by one party just to make sure that we don't exist? Because if you're not allowing people's vote to count, it means you're saying they're not Nigerians. And so it's natural for them to feel like that, but we've started the work. We've let them know that success is the best revenge in any which way you look at a situation. And no matter the challenges, you want to make sure that you overcome it. And way forward, you must vote. You must do whatever it takes to allow your vote to count. And we're on. And I think they're all excited.
You are quite optimistic.
I am, yes.
That's good. Now, let's quickly touch on some other issues that also crept up as issues and other controversies. For instance, a motion came up at a particular meeting. They call it the MLB Inner Caucus meeting of the Ohanese Indigo in Enugu State, and a particular motion came for the adoption of Mr. President as the consensus candidate of the Igbos, and that did not really end up well. So while some were for, the others were against. Looks as if your party is cashing in on that, celebrating the fact that the Igbos did not, pick Mr. President as consensus candidate. But does that really matter?
I want to believe that we're all true Nigerians, and we need to really stop seeing each other as Igbo, Yoruba, Hausa, and keep tearing the country apart. Because as long as we keep playing this politics of ethnicity, the religious lines, it wonders, it makes one wonders, are we truly independent? Because we, over 50-something years, we have all been Nigerians. And so, saying if I talk now, I'm representing just the Yorubas. Obviously, somebody next to me might not have the same. And when one person talks, you're saying everybody else is, we need to be very cautious on that. And I wouldn't think it's something that we need to take to the bank and say, oh yes, because some group, we've got so many groups. And I mean so many groups. So what is really going to tell it all is the elections.
Prior to this time, we were talking about the role religion plays, the Muslim ticket. Now we're talking about tribal affiliation and inclination. For instance, one of the issues that came up were certain uncompleted projects. Some of the group says that Mr. President have not been able to consolidate on the number of votes that he got in 2011. At this particular time, do you think Nigerians will be thinking Nigerian, or they'll be thinking ethnics? They'll be thinking, what has the president done for my society? What has it done for my professional fields? What has it done? Will it be so easy to think across the board at this particular crucial political time?
No, because it saddens me, because really, when we keep going back to that stomach infrastructure and what is in need for me all the time, rather than what is in need for us all, what is going to benefit us all, not just my family, my pocket, my stomach, we're not going to really move forward. And so while you're going to say an hungry man is an angry man, yeah, but we all need to have this sacrificial spirit, that for the love of Nigeria, for the spirit of Nigeria to thrive and flourish, let's just put apart all this what's in it from just me. It should be for us all, and think Nigeria and how Nigeria will be one of the best countries, really, not just in Africa, in the world. That it's what should be paramount right now.
Okay, so there's indeed need for us to think beyond our
individual, yes,
and all of that at this time.
Yes.
What about the issue of religion at this time? Because that's also one of the issues that came up over the weekend, where the APC presidential candidate was talking about looking beyond the religion of the candidate to what he can do, so to speak. Many have compared Nigeria in 2015 with the Nigeria of 1993. I did not care whether Abiola was a Muslim or his running mate was a Muslim. What would you say has changed over the years?
Well, I think the change is really, everybody is like the reality that dawns on us every day now. Boko Haram, whether you want to think about it as an Islam thing or Christianity thing, but it's been pinned to just Islam. Like, this is what they want. Everybody not going to school, only Islamic, whatever. So it's made everybody being on guard as to each side wanted to protect their own. Because where you have one side killing each other, the other side, so it's like the lines are drawn. So saying that we're not going to be conscious about religion, it's like just making a wish. You're looking at something and you're in denial that it's non-existent, but it's there. And so we must be conscious of it, because the Christians are part of Nigerians, the Muslims are part of Nigerians. I mean, everybody, in order for us to work together in one unity, everybody's concerns must count, and we must all be carried along. So I think in strategy, it was good that we were able to have a Muslim and Christian ticket. Yes, it goes a long way.
There are issues of ensuring that our campaigns are issue-based and not heating up the politics, so to speak, because one of those things we had last year was somebody being semi-illiterate and a jackboot and all of that. But there are also issues and controversies as regards the certification of the presidential candidate. Of course, we know that one is a PhD, has, PhD holder, whatever it is they call it. And then the other person probably could not hand a certificate over, is with the military, and then there are reports saying, well, the military is saying it's with us. Another side of the story is saying the military is saying it's not with us. Everybody should have a copy of that. I mean, what's the role of certification at this time?
I think it's all politics. This guy is not a newbie. This is a guy that rose to become a general in the Nigerian army, a one-time head of state. And 70 years after in his life, you are not questioning his integrity. So I think it's just politics, because what they're questioning now, look, in America, even where you say you don't have this certification, you've got experience, you've got so many things going. He has held so many posts that has shown that he does have the capacity to rule. He does have the capacity to, make decisions. So for me, anybody undermining the balance in the educational stand of, and I don't want to say Major General Buhari now, because really he's an APC presidential aspirant. Yeah. Okay. I think it's a joke.
But there's nothing wrong in asking for it.
But he does have it. He must have had it to be the head of state at the time. Okay. And that is not yesterday. That is some 20 odd years away. Okay. And you also have a VP who is a professor, a cleric. I mean, whose integrity? And I mean, I I've been under his tutelage. I'm proud of him anytime. So, I think it's just the politics of, because you have a good candidate, dog eat dog. Everybody cheering one other down.
But
just
in your opinion, does
yes.
academic qualification count in political leadership?
Yes.
It does?
Yes, it does.
So in that way, would you say that Mr. President is more qualified to remain as president than your own presidential candidate?
Well, I'm glad the years that Mr. President has served us, but I just believe it's time for Nigeria to move on and see if we truly can get somebody better to manage the affairs of this country. Is so needed right now. So many things. And I want to say thank you for what he has done so far, but I believe we can do a better job.
Let's quickly open the phone lines. When you call in, endeavor to turn down the volume of your TV set, and let's keep the conversation on telephone so we can do without the feedback distortion. Of course, we're talking issues and controversies from today Bakari's suggestion of postponing the 2015 general elections as a result of not having the conducive terrain for it yet in the country, to the controversy surrounding General Muhammadu Buhari's certification, and of course other developing stories that we're touching on this hour. Thank you for your contribution, and don't forget you can also follow us on Twitter at Call Digest Live. Well, beyond all of this now, there are also issues as regards, for instance, they're talking about someone being a professor or someone who has a PhD, and then somebody who is with the military, and then we're still having issues with finding the certificates, so to speak. But beyond all of that, would you really say that this is a possibility for the APC? Because many have also said that the APC winning in 2015 will be like the PDP winning Lagos in 2015. PDP has been there for 16 years. The APC is just like the way you would beat your chest and tell me that PDP cannot win Lagos, because I know you are with the APC. Would you call this a possible dream for your party?
It is a possible dream that I know definitely will be a reality.
So it's the same possible dream for the PDP in Lagos. Is that what you're saying?
I cannot talk for the PDP. I can talk for the APC, because that's the party that I belong to.
How would you think that the APC would win Lagos in 2015, and then you wouldn't expect the PDP to win the federal level in 2015?
I just think all across the states, people are ready for us. People are ready for that change. And they're ready. The way things have been lately, the economy, insecurity,
Hello, good morning.
Just a minute, let's take this call. Good morning, welcome to Call Digest.
Yeah, my name is Pastor Sadiq. I'm calling from Ondo.
Pastor Sadiq?
Yeah, I'm calling from Ondo.
You're calling from Ondo?
Do Lagos here.
Okay, Pastor Sadiq is calling from Lagos. Good morning.
Yeah, I'm calling you.
Please go ahead with the contribution.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
I've been following your program with the president.
Okay. Please go ahead.
Okay. And yes, the woman there with you has been talking what I want to do. Yes, I've been talking.
I need you to turn down the volume of your TV set so that you can stop listening to yourself on television. Just turn it down and let's keep the conversation on telephone. Are you there, Pastor?
I'm here.
All right, go ahead. Turn down the volume of your TV set and go ahead with the contribution, please.
Yeah, the woman there with you has been doing what I was saying if I'm in the program.
Okay.
We are in this nation, we are lived here. We that are elderly people know that the PDP is not doing well. I'm an Igbo man, I'm from the southeast. I cannot say because I'm from the southeast, I say that the Jonathan has been doing well. I think it's high time of here in the change. That's the way I think.
Thank you.
And for Lagos State, PDP should support it, and not for the federal. Thank you.
Just before you go, Pastor, do you have your permanent voter card?
Yeah, I don't have, because I went to my police site at the beginning of the year, 038, and they could not give it to me. My name was not there, but I have the temporary one. But then when I checked the INEC this thing, they said my name is there, so I want to check at the computer to see what I can do. I must get it. I must get it.
It's all right.
I want to vote. I want to vote for it. I must get it.
Wish you all the best. Thank you for calling
Thank you.
on Call Digest. You know, they say if wishes were horses, beggars will ride. There's no way anyone will vote with a temporary voter card, at least the little I know. So if people don't have cards, but they have voices, how does that count in February this year?
That's why I said we still got time. I know 6 weeks, it's like just like around the corner, but Nigerians, the kind of strength and will and kind of attitude that we have when we really set our mind to something. And I think that INEC at this point, within the next week, has to do something miraculous.
Or is this where you start to consider Pastor Tunde Bakare's opinion of postponing the election?
No, for me, I don't see the postponement really.
Just a minute. Let's take this call. Hello, good morning. Welcome to Call Digest.
Yeah, good morning. I'm calling from Kwara.
From Kwara, what's your name?
Christopher.
Christopher calling from Kwara. Happy New Year to you. Go ahead with a contribution.
Okay. My name is Christopher.
Yeah, I can hear you, Christopher. Go ahead with the contribution, please.
Okay. Yeah, I really want to talk about politics.
Okay.
Politics in the first instance is all about individual character.
All right.
Fashola did well in Lagos is a personal issue. He did not do well because he's a member of a particular party. He did well because he is the Fashola of his own. And it's his own personal character as a person that wants to take care of his people.
Okay.
And whoever that has not done well in PDP did not do well because he is in PDP. They did not do well because they don't have that personal character of taking care of people. So I want people to really go away from the issue of politics, party. There are so many people that are hiding under the umbrella of PDP and they are taking the glory of other people. And there are so many people that are hiding under the umbrella of APC, taking glory of Fashola or Oshobole did well. This is the basic. It is not about APC. It is all about Oshobole. It is all about Fashola. It is all about whoever has done well, not a party. There are so many people that have not done well in the country. You understand? So that's what I'm saying. Whoever that wants to win, we are praying that God should help us. Education or no education, a good president is a good president, and a bad one is a bad one. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your contribution, Christopher from Kwara. I think it made some sense, especially when you check out the number of presidential aspirants of the APC, your own party. Many of them came from the PDP. I believe Rochas Okorocha was with APGA before he came, and Kano State Governor was with the PDP. Atiku Abubakar was with the PDP. Buhari was with the CPC. Okay, I think Elder Isaiah seems to be the only new face in the APC. So we see a situation whereby even the PDP that your party calls bad had to import some people from that party.
I wouldn't say that.
But at this time, would you say that in 2015 people would vote for parties or individuals, just like Christopher has suggested?
I think he's right. The individuals is very, it's like whoever you're putting forth to represent you is very, very important. And I think we have done well in choosing Buhari and Osibajo. Both of them you cannot sweep under the rug. I mean, we are proud that they're representing us. But also, as a party, I believe you can say whatever about them coming from PDP, but they came to join us because they realized wherever they were before was a mistake. They needed to be with APC because the policies and all that we have in place is truly, with the masses, at heart, that we offer more. we the people, when you talk about we the people, a lot of all the things that is going on, you would see that does not really have the input or the commitment to take care of the people at heart. But the policies that they are progressive Congress, that we have, it's really people driven.
Just a minute.
And I think it makes a difference.
Yeah, hello, good morning. Welcome to Call Digest.
Good morning.
Morning, sir.
And I go from Oga.
What's your name again?
And I go from Oka.
Oh, you're calling from Oka. Anayo from Oka. All right, go ahead with the contribution, please.
Okay.
I need you to turn down the volume of your TV set.
Yeah, okay. I want to contribute towards president having certificate or not having certificate.
Okay.
Not having certificate. I think, to me, that should not matter to Nigerians now. We should be thinking of the past records of the man we are talking of. We should know that this is a man that has ruled us. And what he did is still ingrained in our mind.
Okay.
And during his own time, we experienced so many changes. Which we should remember. During his own time, I could remember there was a war then. People were doing things in order. He so organized Nigeria then that people had fear. And without fear, Nigeria cannot be surveyed. They can survey Nigeria. Because now people are doing things with impunity. So we have to think before we start condemning, before we start asking for certificate or no certificate. So I don't want that to deny us what we need to enjoy from someone whom God has sent to survey Nigeria.
It's all right. Thank you very much for your contribution, and I believe you made your points there. Let's quickly touch on the age factor of your party. Your presidential candidate is about 72 years old, if I am not mistaken, and the running mate also has some gray hair, obviously, on his head. It's about time. We used to hear the idea that we need young and energetic people to rule. What's your opinion about this?
And I want to say that the age also comes with wealth of experience. And when you talk about there's so much issues that we have on ground now in Nigeria, it's not child's play. You definitely need somebody that's got the wealth of experience, the educational capacity, somebody that actually has the heart of the people. And if you look at that team, I think it's a dynamic team. Now, you look at their build, you look about their performance and all that, I mean, I was with a presidential aspirant the day the Congress, very athletic. And I mean, people that are 30, 40 years younger than him could not even do all the works he was doing in the stadium. And you see his build, six-pack. No, nothing. So, I mean...
How did you see the six-pack?
I mean, no, come on. Don't go there. But I'm telling you, and same to do with my pastor.
Okay.
So the gray hairs, I'm telling you, they're truly golden because you could see what they have done in all that time. Yes, you could see. I mean, you're looking at a former Attorney General of this Center of Excellence.
Let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Yes.
Good morning. Are you there? All right, try again. We'd love to hear from you. All you need to do is dial the number on your screen and turn down the volume of your TV set. Good morning. What's your name?
My name is Chimeze.
Chimeze, where are you calling from?
From Aba.
From Aba. How's Aba this morning?
Very good, and some account everywhere still.
All right. Welcome on the show. Please go ahead with your contribution.
My contribution was, everybody has seen everything's going on in Nigeria. Now, from my own side, the best candidate so far, as far as I'm concerned, is APC, Buhari. Hello? Ma? Hello?
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Buhari, that is the best candidate so far. Because forget about PDP or not PDP. The first time in so ever see the put fuel subsidy in January 4th. Imagine. I can't forget that incident at Yanapaga, where days before I came down to Aba. Just crisis, people. I still remember, for me, I didn't see that what that man have done in Nigeria, as far as I'm concerned. It's the reality. No security, you can't pull to go to North, and junior brother want to enter school. There's no, I go to North admission, say no, everybody's scared. You can just imagine that.
It's all right. Thank you for your contribution, Chimeze. I'm afraid we lost that there. One of the jingles I've been seeing recently also is that the APC claiming it would defeat Boko Haram in Nigeria. Do you think that will be a piece of cake for your party, especially at the time where there are also criticisms as regards the opposition of the APC to the presidency at this time on national security, unlike what is obtainable in developed climes where opposition come united, working hand in hand with the incumbency, especially when we talk about issues of terrorism?
Well, it's all about prioritizing. It's not a one night thing, but definitely we have made it a priority, knowing that the security of lives and property is paramount to any developing country. And in order to be able to sustain even the economic viability of the country as well, people need to be rest assured that if they're going from Lagos to Kano to I don't know where, they're not going to be worried that maybe it's just a one-way trip. They're not coming back. I mean, right now, you tell somebody they're going to be posted to some part of the country, they look at you like you're sending them on a suicide mission, And so we need to address that, So we're saying we're going to take care of it because we are saying we're going to make it a primary, thing like number one priority is security.
It's all right.
Yes.
Let's quickly, just before, let's touch on the issue of funding political parties this time. You recall the 21 billion naira controversies late last year. On the front page of The Nation this morning, INEC bans use of government cash resources for campaigns, and it issues code of conduct to political parties. Let me just quickly read the do's and don'ts for you. No party should issue any inciting statements, no intimidation of opponents by any means, no use of government fund resources for campaign. Parties must ensure that there is no clash of rallies, and parties must file details of their rallies, as well as no destruction of opponents' posters. How do you see all of these being enforced this time? At a time where there are already issues coming out from this light?
Well, making policies is one thing, but the enforcement is another thing. There is nothing on there really that has not been said that even either of the parties does not know about. Now, going forward, that's where I'm going back to the individuals or people making sure that yes, this is the law, and there's no way you're going to go about breaking laws without thinking of what can be. The law says if you do this, this is the penalties that goes with it. So now sometimes people don't even want to just think that the laws are there, even though they are there. But the enforcement, but if you look, even if you look at the agencies that are supposed to be enforcing these laws now, you're going to say that they are also.
Just a minute. Let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Good morning.
Hello?
Are you there? Go ahead.
I'm calling from Kano.
From Kano, what's your name?
Good morning. My name is Sam from Kano.
Taiwo from Kano. How is Kano this
My
morning?
name is Taiwo.
Okay, Taye from Kano. Can you turn down the volume of your TV set for me?
Kano is very cool.
Good to hear that. Turn down the volume of your TV, Taye.
Okay.
Okay, we're waiting on you. I think it's better now. Go ahead with a contribution, please.
Okay. I salute. Yes, I salute my madam over there.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
She has said all it all. And I think she said the right thing. Jonathan has to leave. We have to change government in Nigeria. Because I think in terms of security, economy is very, very bad. So, and now the issue of Buhari is having green red also on and so forth. I think it's politics. And even our president has the same green head. So I think they should not use that opportunity to destabilize this country.
It's all right, I believe you made your points there. Well, what are you calling him? I needed to turn down the volume of your TV set. What he was doing was he would say one thing, listen to himself, and continue. You know, we can't make do with that discussion. So when you're connected, just turn down completely the volume of your TV set so we can hear you very clearly. INEC bans use of government cash resources for campaigns. You recall the 21 billion naira raised for Mr. President last year. The APC also came up and say they want to sell 5,000 tubers of yam to raise 5 billion naira for your presidential candidate. But then, how realistic is this that government funds won't be used, especially for the APC? There are insinuations that Lagos is the cow that, where they milk from, financially. I don't know how true that is, but is it realistic really that we'll have an election where government funds won't be used? There are also insinuations that in this election year, forget projects. Ongoing projects might just be abandoned for a while. Mr. President came up also on the first day of this year to say that he's committed to continue governance irrespective of electioneering and campaigns and all of that. Have we gotten to that stage of democracy and governance where leadership and political governance continues independently of electoral campaigns?
Well, I will talk about Lagos State because I'm in Lagos State. And I am very sure if you go around the different localities in Lagos State, you will still see that the projects are ongoing. The roads, the schools, you still have them. So I don't believe because it's election year, the projects have stopped. At least in Lagos State, I know they've not stopped. And I would want to believe that the federal government would not be mean to the people of Nigeria and put everything on hold just because we've got an elections. Now, I did say something about the laws being there, but obviously when it comes to certain categories of people, people play this temporary amnesia thing, where you have, because they're friends to the president, they are above the law, and so that way, if they do one or two things, they know they're covered. They've got the protection of the federal might behind them. It would be nice if the APC has that. We will have that come February.
So that you can also use it to protect
We will not use it. No. We will not abuse the power if given the chance. We definitely will not.
It's all right.
We're not that kind of a party.
Well, let's take a short break, and we'll be back with more. Keep your calls coming, and keep tweeting at us at Call Digest Live. Stick around. Don't go away.